Hey, I'm Jonny. I'm a freelance musician. I play bass for a number of different artists and get to travel to different countries, which lets me explore my photography. I got into photography from quite a young age. I got a camera from the Science Museum in London. It was like a fisheye film camera. And I guess I just really enjoyed loading the film, taking the photos, like not really knowing what they're going to look like, progress through like different cameras and film stocks. And I think to me photography means getting into a good headspace where you're quite relaxed and creative. I just love the process of film, the way it looks and everything, and I think shooting on film makes the photography process way more enjoyable. So with San Francisco and the photos that I've taken there, I just think it's such an amazing city, like it's so individual. I think for me, like when I think of San Francisco, you think of like the Golden Gate Bridge, the Castro, like all these classic things, but I think, in today's day and age, like the cars have really become a part of that as well. And it's kind of become quite like symbolic with the city. The last time I visited San Francisco, I just really felt compelled to create a series of work about cars. I realised like that I was seeing these cars everywhere and it was becoming such a common sight. I really enjoyed every photo that I took and everything was so different, and it would create a really interesting series. I would say I'm definitely inspired by this sort of classic Americana style of photography in terms of like gas station cars, diners, like all these kind of things, where they're kind of things that we have in the UK but they look so different. The cars in America have such a unique look, and it's kind of like each one you see is so different, so it's like getting that sort of variation. Photographers who inspire me are probably Joe Greer, Matt Day, like modern day photographers who teach a lot on YouTube. I think that's how I learned a lot of photography. And then obviously like more classic photographers like Stephen Shore, his work on America, I find that super interesting. I've always tried to like print off my photos and kind of see them in that way. I think ultimately the end goal for most film photographers is to have your work printed. I think because especially with film, like you don't see the photo when you take it, so you kind of have to imagine like what it would be like when you hold it. I think that's just what's really interesting about film photography in general, is that it is so tangible. And I guess there's nothing better than like seeing your photo printed on the wall, imagining the whole time that that's what it's going to end up like. Working with 6x7, it just makes it all like super easy to get really nice photos printed and framed. Having that in other people's houses or in like pubs, restaurants, cafes, whatever, I think that's just really cool to know that your photos have reached somebody and that they've like appealed to them. I think a personal favourite photo of mine from my series is this one called Mercury. I think it's a really good example of the kind of car photos that I love taking, and just kind of really represents the series well. I think it's amazing with film cameras that you can take a photo on like a relatively small negative and turn it into something huge, and it still has that like really amazing quality to it. So